They see me working, putting this work in. X and verses open, one day I close curtains. But I don't mean like when that show be over. No, I'm talking Maybach with the whole chauffeur.
Welcome back, man. It's a million ways to get it. We're here live from York, Pennsylvania. We're gonna go check out my homegirl, Samantha Ferguson. She has a insurance business, William Penn Insurance, and it's doing major things. And she's gonna give us some game and walk us through her entrepreneurial journey. Stay tuned. A million ways to get it.
I don't mean like when that show be over. No, I'm talking Maybach with the whole chauffeur. Fuck a eulogy, play this track at my funeral.
I'm Samantha Ferguson. I own William Penn Insurance. I've owned it for the past 3 years in York, PA. Originally started it in Shreveport, Louisiana, but it didn't work out as planned. So we came up here after 3 months. Quick made the decision to come back to York. That's where I've been majority of my life. But this is my, I don't know, maybe 4th business. And I think we hit the nail on the head with this one.
Okay. Yeah. Seems like it. Seems like it.
I try.
All right. So this being your 4th business and your fourth endeavor into the entrepreneurial world, how did you kind of get started in entrepreneurial? Like what kind of led you down this path? Like, where did you come from? You went to school? What?
Well, I love the challenge of starting a business or just learning in general. Business is like a game to me. So I started in college. I started a clothing company. During college, I was in college. 2010, I graduated. But after graduation, I actually worked for an entrepreneur during college who had a clothing company as well. And that opened my eyes to a lot. She was an engineer.
Wow.
And dropped that career to, run her own business. And I worked really intimately with her every day, like right next to her, just being able to poke her brain, That was probably one of the most influential times of my life on entrepreneurship. But after graduating from college, I left her side to kind of go explore the world. And I realized that the degree was not necessarily, and nothing was going to be handed to me. So after college, I have a finance degree with an entrepreneurship minor. Graduated in 3 years, and I went to work for, I was measuring tuxedos at Men's Warehouse. Making like nothing. And during that time, I got together with some girls I went to high school with, and we opened a salon. And I don't do hair or anything like that, but salons are fun, Yeah. We're young. It was a blast. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, we had a lot of fun. But I opened a salon during that time because I realized I was not gonna get the opportunities weren't gonna come to me that I thought was going to come after having a degree. So I had to go create the lifestyle I wanted, and it's trial and error.
Definitely, with everything, like with this whole process, everything's trial and error. Like, we go from, we got a different angle. We got to try a different way of production and how we're going to go about the whole process of the thing.
Sure.
So what I would say is I think it's major that you spoke to creating your own networks, because I'm a firm believer in your network is your net worth. So when you have a broader network of people, you can touch a different base of different types of things. So how can you speak to your network kind of for your lifestyle and what it's done for you outside of just business in general?
Like, contrary to popular belief, people love to help people. Like, if you ask for help or you ask for advice, and someone that's been in those shoes before, they will help you. I still have my connections with the college that I went to. Now that was in 2010. That's 10 years ago.
Yeah, man.
Oh my
goes
God.
at you fast.
Yeah. Wow. So I still talk to my professors at your college. I went down there about maybe a month ago to do on campus judge an entrepreneurship competition. But I mean, I'll call him and ask him, hey, like, this is what I'm doing now, or even like my rep. Now I even have a consultant for this business in particular that my rep put me with, and that's somebody that's been in my industry for 30 years, this industry that I'm in now. So, and you got to keep you have to keep connections with people that today is the 3rd year, okay, that I have received a paycheck from another company. My last company was IMA in Bossier City, Louisiana, and the president of that company, Mary Smith, I send her my production like every 6 months. She's old school, like how we have this table here, like there's no computer on it. Like she runs a third-party administrator of health insurance benefits, 60 to 70 employees, no computer on her desk. Insane, right? So I literally like print my production and my product, like how well I'm doing in my sales, and I send it to her in the mail, and I say, hey Mary, look how I'm doing, because we built a really good bond, and she's a very knowledgeable woman, so I like to keep my connection with her, you know, and she understands my industry as well. Plus she's a woman in business that runs a company, so we have different kind of hurdles, and especially in a male-driven industry, insurance. So keep my connection with her, and that's important. You know, you never know when that
you need to kind of lean on that piece of the network to help you. I feel like there's like a stigma with people using other people in business endeavors and just in life in general, right? Yeah. There's like a stigma behind it, like that's a bad thing to be used by your friend or you to use your friend. All right. If you're being used for, you know, for the wrong purposes or not something that's positive, that's kind of pushing yourself forward, that's completely different. But if I'm saying here, like me coming to you and, you know, we're using each other at this moment, we're going to plug your business, and we're also going to give some game to some people that I feel like a lot of people need to hear. Yep. So that's people helping people. We're using each other. And that's something that is major that people need to kind of throw that other narrative out. That other narrative is gone.
And there's a balance to it, and people do have problems with it. And I used to tell people, this sounds bad, but if you can't be used, then you're useless. And saying that you're being used is not necessarily what it means. Yeah. If you have knowledge that you can share with someone else, it's a humility thing. You know what I mean? Like if you are willing and able, I'm not saying I'm putting everybody on game. I'm not doing that because you got to have some sort of get with you. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to go if I want to know, I'm going to come ask. Okay.
Right.
And believe me, if they know and they see that you're willing to learn, they're going to give it to you. They're going to give it to you. But nobody is out here like, hey, I got this book over here. Come sit down. I'm going to read it to you. No. You know what I mean?
I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink. So I can't.
You know what I tell people? People say that all the time, right? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Look, if that horse is thirsty, it's going to find water.
Right. I don't have to lead it.
I don't even got to lead it. It's going to find water. And while you here drinking, I'm drinking water, you drinking water, we going to talk. You know what I mean?
Right. Definitely.
So it's not a bad thing, but people don't put themselves in the position to be vulnerable, to be able to ask somebody or say, you know what, I don't know about this. And you got to be able to say, you know what, I'm not going to be right all the time. Yeah. I have to be able to ask somebody. And it's okay. Most people in the position that they see that you're trying and you're putting that guard there, they're going to give you the game.
Trying to capture Lenny-ass money through Kodak lens. Don't say we ain't let you in. No. Before Ross, I put grease in my 16s. In Vegas, strip 5, when I touch teams. I built this empire, y'all just saw kings.
At this point in my life, I'm all about information. Like I wake up in the middle of the night watching YouTube, like because I need to learn. I need to know more because it's like the money is in the knowing. It's not in how many, like, all right, I looked at my resume, and my resume was all stuff I can do for other people. Like, I can manage a store. I can manage employees. But that's still someone else's stuff. I want to manage me now. I want to manage my own thing. So can you speak to the difference in, you know, we spoke earlier, you said this is your 3rd year not receiving a check from...
Signed by someone else. I sign my checks.
That's beautiful, man. So how can you speak to that? To like how getting to that point and what it took to get you to that point, how you feel at this point now?
The knowledge, you're gonna get knowledge from everywhere, but you also have to be able to reflect off of every knowledge. Not all knowledge is good.
Right.
You know, so is it knowledge at that point? I guess That's another.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get information from people that you have to decide if that fits for you or if that doesn't fit for you. If that works for what you're trying to do, or if it doesn't work for what you're trying to do. Because it's gonna constantly come in, and then you have to reflect, and know this is what I can use that, but I can't use that. And I'm not saying because you gave me that, I'm cutting you all the way off, but because it might be a gem. 2 days from now, but I can't get jiggy with that. So, right. But being able to hone all that in and say, okay, this is what works for me, and being decisive in that aspect. So when I realized even in that experience in my last position, I learned so much, but I knew that my life was not going to be able to suffice, or I wasn't going to be happy staying in that position. Right. I took the knowledge I could from there, and I branched off. And I started this business in Shreveport, but I wasn't familiar with that marketplace as I was familiar with this marketplace. And they call it a hard market. So in the first 3 months of me being open, and I went through everything I had to do, like we leased a place, everything, and tried to go out and get business. And what I did in 3 months there, I did in 1 month here. So, wow. But I had to take that leave. I mean, I had to throw one day I just went, one day I literally went home and I put it was a Thursday night. It was like 6 o'clock. I'm like, I'm out right now. I'm in Louisiana. I'm out right now. Like, I put my kids in the car and they was maybe 2 and 3. I don't remember. Was it 2 and 3? It was about 2 and 3. Solo wasn't even 2 yet. Meech just turned 3. So 3 and 1.90% or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
The months thing.
Almost the thing that people do.
About
the month thing. No. Not only good the months thing. Yeah,
so I threw them in the car and I threw some clothes in the car and my computer that's on the desk out there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go straight. I'm going to go to Pittsburgh area, stay with my aunt for a week. And then I'm going to try to find a space down here in York. But I had to wait because I had someone living in my house when I was in Louisiana, and I had to tell them to get out or whatever, and then get back in my house or whatever. So, yeah, I just was like, yeah, I'm going now. Like, right now, like, get in the car. It's 6 o'clock at night. You know how long? It takes, like, 22 hours to get from, and me and the babies hopped in the car, and we was out. And I was like, this is time for me this ain't working, so I'm going to try something else. I'm not going back to working. It's for somebody else. So now it's time for, a change. And came up here, and I mean, it took me some time to, like, get this space.
Mm-hmm.
I just was looking back through old pictures, like I had completely different stuff in here. And it's only been two and a half years in this location because I got in here July of 17. So July of 2020 will be 3 years here at this location. But everything works out. Just keep being decisive. Everything that's coming in, reflecting and making decisions towards what your goals are, and really knowing those goals make the difference. Because if you don't know what your end looks like, you don't know how to start. People all the time ask me, how do I get started, Samantha? I said, know what you want at the end. You can't get there if you do not know where you want to be. And you're just winging it. You just, what does it look like? I know what it looks like. I envision it.
Yeah.
Hit line if y'all think y'all gon' fuck up my dream. Feel on my back like the last name on the jersey. All this magic I make happen, rappers know they ain't worth it. I been snapping, that's a fact. I never was worried. They told me hip hop dead, they need me to drop in a hurry.
Super dope that to have that that vision, because like the vision is something that
it's the hardest part.
It's the hardest part because no one else can see it. No one else can really see it but you. Like when I was sitting on the couch thinking of a million ways to get it, nobody else saw it really. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Nobody else could see what it could be where we get to this point where the production's up and I'm able to travel, move around. You know what I mean? Get my
and you want to talk to people about it, right?
Yeah.
But
they're
like, what? All right, like
the comments like, oh
sounds
yeah,
good.
Do it.
Let's go. Yeah, like
it's like, oh, thanks.
You feel like you're so excited, but you gotta contain it.
You gotta contain it. You gotta contain yourself, and you can't be like that. You know that feeling that you get. Like I know, like I said, like I did my first episode. I only watched it one time. I never watched it only that one time. I was walking home. I watched it walking home, and I said, oh man, wait a minute. You know what I mean? Like, oh shoot, like this is way bigger than I expected. Mm-hmm. Off of one, and it's literally tape. My phone taped to a hanger, and I'm talking.
Are you serious?
In the kitchen. My phone's taped to a hanger, and it's like ketchup and stuff on the thing. You know what I mean? Word to my God, Dave, families first, man. But yeah, man,
That's
he
how
showed
it
me
starts.
major love, man. He showed me major love. Let me come to his house, man. And I told this story a bunch of times, and y'all can keep hearing it. I had got flaked on by a guy. No, you know what I mean. Thank him for flaking on me, because that kind of put a fire in me, because I was like, you know what. I wanted to start this like 3 years ago. I wanted to start a podcast with a couple friends.
Yep.
I had an idea, and then that idea was on the screen with another person now. I'm looking on TV and I'm like, dang, that could have been without my idea I had. And I'm sitting over here sitting on it.
For what? What are you waiting for? Just do it.
Right.
That with the hanger.
I'm out here with the hanger.
And it's like even
the hanger, man.
For me to just jump off and say, you know what, it's at work, we're going now.
Yeah,
it's gonna work.
You
have to have that inside. You have to be like, I don't care what it ain't. Listen, and sometimes I will do that too, like to have that like focus to say this is going to work. Yeah. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make this work. Sometimes you have to, because your dream is so real, your goal is so real, that end result is so real. You just start chopping stuff. Like, nope, Facebook, get out of here with that. Y'all not about to love and hip hop me to death, or you know what I mean? Just stuff that's you never know. I mean, as much your brain is hit with so much stuff that can influence you to change what. Oh, should I do that? No, you gotta stay on that. So whatever you gotta do to keep that goal, you know, because during those 2-3 years, maybe there was stuff coming in saying, nah, maybe that's not it, or no, maybe I should try something else.
Yeah, my boy told me the idea was too simple, and I was like, too simple.
We allow that. See, that's why we gotta protect that.
Right, and now looking back and looking at what this is, nobody could have talked me out of it, because like once I saw it, I said, I got it now.
And that's how you know you're going to do good.
Yeah.
Because it keeps coming in like, nope, can't do it. And you're like, all right, watch me.
Right.
Man. Watch. It's going down. And I had that too, where I had obstacles, and I'm like, nope. How am I going to get around that obstacle? How am I going to get around this obstacle? And then I'm like, literally, just like, even, and I feel like I built that grit up over, you know, even through my parents, and then like all my experiences through going through college, but you built that grit up, saying, look, there's things are going to stop you. They're going to try. Are you going to allow them? On my other businesses, yeah, I did. Right? So it built up that confidence slowly, being decisive, understanding what I really want, and making that happen, you know, and not allowing those things to influence you. It takes those things coming in to say, do you really want this? Yeah. Do you really want this? Now prove it to me. And then you prove it.
Yeah, and I think that was that moment. That moment when I sat there and he was like, I can't make it. And I was sitting there, I was like, what am I going to do?
You going to get that hanger and that?
I'm walking around, I'm moving it around. I'm like, this is hope this thing doesn't fall and break and shatter all over the place, because I don't have insurance.
We'll have to put that later.
Oh, see? We're in the right place. But yeah, man. So for future plans, like, are you looking? Is this like? Are you looking to optimize, like, and spread this out? Are you looking to take into another space? Are you looking to like optimize in another area? It's kind of like.
Yeah, we got a lot going on.
Okay.
It's crazy. But the biggest thing for me, so even I'll put it back in the same, having that end, so I have my end, I know what my end looks like.
Right.
And I know what works for me, right? Mm-hmm. Like as a job, or what satisfies me in a position. I know what I like, I know what I'm good at. And I really love this shit. You know what I'm saying? I love this shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So like before I get to that end, I can't start at that end. I can't start there, right? I know what role I want to play within my company, but I can't do that until I build up a certain amount of cash flow, until I train up a certain amount of employees, right?
Right.
And then I can go into the role that I really want to go into for my company and other companies in expansion. So I think that's important, because a lot of us want that. We want that glory now. We want the end now, and it don't work like that. I had to be busting my butt 6 days a week for the past 2.5 years, you know, with 2 kids, like, for me to get to this point where now I'll probably within the next 6 to 8 months, I'll be able to do that transition a little bit. It's not going to be full. It's not going to be the full transition, but it's more moving towards that. And I plan on expanding here. I plan on expanding, I don't know, it's a separate type of insurance agency that has specific goal, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Specific, like, market.
Okay.
and then just other businesses in general. I enjoy this kind of thing to be able to talk about business. I love business. So like whether it's insurance or whatever it is, I love business and business strategy. Like it's like a game, you know, like how can we make this happen, you know?
Shit was from the soul. Operate by the code. Never confined to no more. I'm here to get my hood home. But ain't Obama. Just a kid out of Coastville. Had to show him what's most real and how that fuck shit just gotta go.
With what you're doing, that's another way to optimize it in the business that you're in now. Just, you know, because you can talk about your business as well as.
And that's one thing that I was big about, because I wanted to do YouTube, and like even when I first started down in Louisiana, I would run videos of myself and put them on or whatever, which I don't think they're on there anymore. I don't know. Don't go looking. But I was like, what I wanted to do was, when in this industry, when you start from scratch like I did, the access to the products is minimal,
right?
Very minimal. And then I don't have a huge team to be able to say, yeah, we can handle all this coming in, right? So I had to start with the groundwork first, because when we do go that route, I'm not just going to talk about insurance. I'm going to talk about like business finances. I love finance, things like that. It's going to be kind of like an overview kind of thing. Not specifically. No one really wants to talk about insurance, you know.
Yeah.
They just call me to write it for them.
Right.
So what the goal is for the you know, the YouTube or the podcast type of thing that we'll do is to, then we have an end, you know, like most people that do it, what they have a product, right? They have shirts and stuff like that. Like we have an insurance agency. We provide financial services. So if I'm going to talk about financial services, I want the backup. You know what I mean? So that was my goal. Like, let me get that together.
Okay.
They don't care about our communities. You know what I mean? Listen to the words that people say in their lyrics and tell me if that's some real if that's real to you. You know what I mean? Listen to what they saying.
Now that we're here in this office here, are you you said within 6 to 8 months you're looking to kind of step into that next role, right? What does that next role kind of look like for you?
It's more of a strategy role where I'm able to speak and train more. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm a salesperson. That's what I do.
Right.
So that's why my desk looks like that. Every single desk in this office would look like that. It was up to me. But I'm not a detail person. Most salespeople aren't. So I'm like,
you
know, like I'm like, let's get this done.
Yeah.
But my goal is
go. I'm close. Always be closing. That's one of the first things I learned about sales. It's ABC, always be closing. That's one of the first things I learned.
And for the past, like, I don't even know, maybe for the past year, I mean, I've been selling, but I've been working on this transition because I want to be able to bring people on and train them in sales. And not just sales. I'm talking about just like how we're talking about things right now. We're talking about like understanding that what comes in doesn't have to stay in. You can say, no, that doesn't align with my goal. You know what I mean? To build up the people that work here. I think one of my biggest goals was what's the word I'm going to say? Because I'm not trying to be disrespectful to past companies, but like, unsatisfied, right? I was unsatisfied with my position.
Right.
I was unsatisfied with my position. I just was not happy. I wasn't challenged, or I was required to do the things that I'm not good at, but I did it anyway, and it was a struggle for me. And now I have to do it, but it's for my company, right? Yeah. But I'm gonna do it to put myself in a position to be able to do the things that I know I'm really good and can excel at, right? So my idea is to create this company where we have these constant trainings, constant motivational kind of like, let's grow. Let's have that challenge, because most places you get stagnant. I can't stay at a job for a year. I mean, here now, I'm not ever going back to a job, but I start going crazy after 6 months. Like, all right, we mastered this. What's
I did
what's
the
up?
best I could do here.
Stop trying to make me. You know what I mean? I'm done. Like, I can't do it no more.
Yeah.
And that's normal. Like, I feel like so many people feel like that. Right? So why can't I create an environment where people don't feel like that? Y'all gonna love coming to work. You're gonna love coming to work. I want you to love coming. Yo, you only have one shot at this. One shot at life. You gotta love what you. I mean, we spend 40 hours at work.
You spend a lot more time at work than you do with your family.
How do people do it? I have no idea. We spend.
I think when you change the narrative of what's important to what you want. So like, all right, you spoke about working 40 hours here for yourself versus working 40 hours for a company, right?
It feels different.
It feels different, right? You have a different, you get a whole different feeling of like accomplishment doing it for yourself.
Yep.
And it's something that you now forever chase, doing it for yourself. Even if you optimize this all the way to the point you now feel like, all right, I've beat that challenge. Now you can sell it, do whatever you want with it, and you're on to the next challenge. And it was all for the benefit of yourself, I feel like.
I just wanted to make it.
Thank you for watching A Million Ways to Get It. See you soon.
Like and subscribe below.
They see me working, putting this work in. X and verses hoping one day I close curtains. But I don't mean like when that show be over. No, I'm talking Maybach with the whole chauffeur. Fuck a eulogy, play this track at my funeral.
Just smile through the pain over this motherfucker.